Oh, the countdown.
Fantasy football family, welcome. This is the Fantasy Football Show with John, Sean, and Toine. For those who don't know me, I'm John. In the middle, main man in the middle, Toine, and my man to the far right, Sean. And family, please go follow us on our Instagram page at The Fantasy with SJT. Once again, y'all, The Fantasy with SJT, and also our YouTube channel, It's Nation. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and that notification bell so you can get those notifications when we go live or when we post. All right. So, fellas, we're gonna get into what we did week 4. Week 4, who lost, who won. We'll get all into all that. Then we're gonna do the waivers. We'll get into that briefly. Who we should have picked up. We posted that on our IG page. So we'll get into that, and then also the buy low, sell highs. Also the stardom sit-ems, and was there anything else that we gotta?
No, I think that's all we're covering today.
Then me and Sean got a matchup coming up.
You already know. The champ is here. The champ is here.
So
I ain't gonna say
we'll get into that too. All right. So let's get started, man. So I guess. I lost again, 3 in a row. I've been dreading this day a little bit because I'm a little like last week I was concerned. Now I'm panicking. To be honest with you,
Hey, send me the trades.
Nah. We ain't
John not trying to help nobody.
So I'm panicking, y'all. I'm panicking. I'm trying to figure out. Like I made a trade before this week, and it didn't work out for me. I had Julio on Monday night, and he let me down. He ain't finished, and end up ultimately losing the game. So, going into the first slate, 1:00 games, I had Deshaun Watson, I had Will Fuller, David Johnson, and Logan Thompson, which didn't do a damn thing. And Deshaun is just letting me down, y'all. Like it's just, I just need him to get going. He's not doing what he needs to do. So hopefully the coaching changes that, and he's better moving forward. So he did all right. He gave me 20, but I expected more from him out of that matchup with Minnesota. So that was just bad altogether. Then David Johnson, he's like he doesn't do bad, but he don't do great as well, and
You just expect more from David.
I expected more, and he ain't
He's been solid, but you need.
Now,
I see better days for him though. He had some tough matchups.
I see better days as well, man. And then Will Fuller, he's been doing good. Like I can't even be mad at Will Fuller, man. Like he's 6 receptions, 108 yards, and a touch, 19.8 points, man. He's doing well. When he's out there, he's going to be effective, So I can't say too much about Will Fuller. And like I said, with Logan Thomas, he didn't do well at all. Like what it was like 1 point,
one catch for 8 yards.
Yeah, 1.3, man. Like
look at his opponent. Look at his opponent though. I mean, Baltimore.
This tough.
Out there on defense.
Yeah, whatever. Well, he didn't do what he didn't do what he needed. He didn't do what he needed.
Quarterback got benched there on my beloved Washington football team, but. No, it's for another day.
We ain't even gonna talk about that, man.
Yeah. And then Marvin Jones, I felt like okay, New Orleans D. I mean, they said a lot of guys. I'm like, all right, Marvin Jones could do something, and then he let me down as well, man. Like it was just bad all around. Like except for Will Fuller, like I felt like so even with all that happening in those early slate games, I still had a chance because Eckler went down for my opponent, and so I was like, all right, and Lockett didn't do anything. I'm like, I still got a chance here. Like, I still can make things happen. DJ Chark went off like that. I didn't expect that out of Chark. Like 25.
Yeah, DJ Chark looked good.
He looked good.
Yeah, he looked good. Then Justin Jefferson, he was solid.
Good,
he was solid. So, but after that, even still, I had a chance. I'm still thinking, all right, going into Monday night, I got CEH, and I got Julio. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna lose this. Like, CEH let me down. Like I
just say your whole team let
me down. Man. Like, and then
down week, man.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, his players came to play. Kylie, shout out to Kylie. Players came
shout out to Kylie. He did his thing.
To play, and Eckler went down, but I mean,
it's
like you said. I mean, it's a lot of. I think you got better matchups and better things coming only because you know what I'm saying the coaching change in Houston this week was really big. I think for Watson and David Johnson, I think Romeo Crennel is going to realize like we got to get David Johnson the ball. That's why I sent you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get him, but you know what I'm saying. I think I would actually put him on a buy low. David Johnson, I think he would have been a great buy low candidate because of what he's done up to this point. I mean, overall this week, we had a down week. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like we all gonna have. We're gonna come across. I pray I don't come across a week like that, but I feel like we're gonna come across these weeks to where we just like, man, we gotta chalk it up.
But for me, it's 3 consecutive weeks. Like I haven't gotten over 100.
I mean, the thing with you though, look at your team. You got Watson, you got David Johnson, you got Will Fuller, and you started Houston's D. So.
And yes,
if the Texans aren't doing anything, then your team's not going to do anything.
I mean, but Watson put up 20.
So, he put up 20. My team is like, very dependent.
No, I'm just talking. I'm talking about in like that. He said he lost 3 in a row. I'm talking about past weeks, like tough matchups, and you're starting 3 of them every week. Like that's not going to help. But I feel like moving forward, the Texans should be better. So that should help you out.
I'm still hopeful. Hopefully they get it together. You know what I'm saying? But It's tough. But I'm looking forward. To next week. It's gonna be a good matchup, man. We're gonna get into that later on. I'm gonna pass it over to Toine. Hey, he let y'all
see the L also. You'll see it shortly, but I ran into an impressive week once again, as I will say. I don't know why, man. I got this luck of, either my guy is going to finish at the top guy or I'm going to play the guy that's the top guy. I mean, for the past 2 weeks, week 2 and 3, AK Alvin Kamara was the number 1 player in fantasy for those 2 weeks. I mean, it's hard to argue that he wasn't. But this week, I played against Joe Mixon. And if anybody had Joe Mixon on your team and you lost, then you need to reevaluate your roster immediately. Because this guy has... I mean, just like I said last week, you want as a player you want to buy low on is Joe Mixon, and the schedule gets better for Joe Mixon going forward. But I didn't think it was going to happen that fast.
Happened quick.
It happened really quick. Turnaround was. Trust me, I'm talking about if you watch a red zone and you leave it and then you come back and you see Joe Mixon 30-yard touchdown. It's ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. And I mean I ran into pretty much the number 1 fantasy player last week, but we'll start at the top. So Aaron Rodgers almost saved me on Monday night. If anybody watched that Monday night game, I was actually down 6 at halftime because Matt Ryan didn't pretty much do anything, but I was pretty much in it, and it almost salvaged my week, but came up a little bit short. Alvin Kamara, he had 83 yards, but I mean he had 113, I believe, total yards, so he had a solid production. I mean 19.4. Yeah, we look at it and we're like, 19.4, but that's really good. People look at it and be like,
that's a great fantasy. Can't put up 30 every week.
You can't exactly. And I'm not expecting that.
Latavius, he kind of vultured some touchdowns away. Yes,
we're gonna get into Latavius. Latavius is actually on my bench, everybody, and I'm gonna get into why I'm so disappointed about this week. So Jerick McKinnon filling in for Mostert. I think that if Mostert doesn't play, then you have to start Jerick McKinnon because he looks like the guy in that offense. I mean, 14 carries, 54 rushing yards. You guys see it there. 7. He's involved in the passing game. He's catching 7 passes with 43 yards. Like, it's
a solid game.
It's a solid game for a guy that you think that he's just filling in. On a lot of people's teams, he's their flex. I mean, the reason why he's not my flex because I have 3 wideouts there and I had 2 backs in there, so he's one of my backs. But he would have been a flex play if I had someone else in there. DJ Moore. Now DJ Moore is. I'm not gonna lie, man. I gave up on DJ this week. Going into this week, you got a favorable matchup against Atlanta. If you can't afford to bench him, then don't, because I think it looks good. But I can't go with DJ this week. I can't. I like Devontae in there this week. what you can see, Devontae is the only guy I think in the Miami passing game to where he had 110 yards on 10 catches. He had 16 points from me. That's solid. Like he showed up and did his thing, what he's supposed to do against a terrible Seattle secondary.
Terrible.
Jameson Crowder did his thing. Shout out Trev for starting Jameson Crowder on Thursday night. I thought that was big, man. That kind of like,
hey, you're welcome, Trev. Yeah. You're welcome.
I didn't think he was going to do that, and forget Sean for saying that, and about whatever.
I just gave him a little advice. My advice is,
Oh, let's go to Allen
grade A.
Allen Robinson, real quick, is the definition of garbage time right now.
Yes, the definition.
I looked up and seen that this guy had like 40 yards. He had like 40 yards and a touchdown on one of the last drives. And if you play half point PPR, and if he had like 3 catches, I mean that's about 12 points. That's about 12. I mean, I lost by 10. So if that drive doesn't happen, then you know what I'm saying, Trev loses the game because he has Devontae in there, and the reason why he has Devontae Adams in there at his flex is because he didn't. It was a late scratch. He told everybody, all his fans on Monday morning that he's not playing. Yeah. I mean, that put him in the line. I put him in a
so
line.
he had to pivot from that.
But I will say that me and Trev was going at it over the Rams defense because I was like, man, like I was picking up the Rams defense to start against the Giants. He beat me to it. And right then and there,
that waiver wire,
that's 10 points. That's why you have to work the waivers. I mean, granted, Hunter Henry was in there. He wasn't supposed to be in there because Juno Smith and the Titans didn't play last week, and that hurt a lot of people. Greeny, I feel your pain, but
he would have still lost. But
you don't know. You don't know what Hunter.
David Henry, he had to put up 30 for him to win. You had to put up 30 for him to win.
Then you would have needed a Joe Mixon type day out there. But I mean, overall, 115 points. I can't be mad at that. I will say that Trev is like Trev's team is solid top to bottom. I will give him that as my guy. Like, shout out to your squad, man. They came to play. I mean, you left Devontae in there with the 0. It kind of like looked like hey, Toine, I'm a dog. That's how I felt.
I mean, but I feel him not putting nobody there.
I feel him because in our league, you know what I'm saying, we're real strict on the transactions to where it's 25 and you can't really do too much there. Going into that game, he was up about 30. 40 points. So
but that's all also that's why it's important. Like if you got a player that's been on the injury report and they got a Monday night game, pick up somebody that's going to be involved in that game for either team, so you can have that opportunity to pivot late if you have to. Like even this past week, I like Julio. Like I was upset. Like I wish Julio just didn't even play. I had pivots. I mean, I still wouldn't have won, but just to have that other player that you can plug in.
Yeah.
If need be, and he didn't have that
case. Just to know that other guy would have played the whole game. Would have been that much better for you.
Yeah.
But let's move on to this guy, man. I'm tired of hearing about it, dog.
Hey, we're gonna move on, 4-0, man.
Tired of hearing it, man.
4-0.
We're gonna change that this week.
4-0, nowhere to go.
4-0, everywhere to go. But
we're gonna change that.
All right, we're gonna start off with the quarterbacks, Colin Murray. Wasn't the best day for Colin Murray. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't pretty. I was scared in the beginning. I think first half he had like 7 points.
Yeah.
Then he finished with 22.8 because he had like a 50-yard run in the second half, and he threw 3 touchdowns in garbage time. But I'll take it, 22.8. Fantasy, I don't care who wins the game. I don't care what Arizona's doing. I just care what my fantasy player does. And he gave me 22.8. All right, we're going to move to Davin Cook. That's my man. He might, week
in and week out, he's doing
so he's getting the carries. He's getting the carries over there. I mean, the Minnesota's offense is not looking too good this year, but Davin Cook, every week he scored a touchdown.
Like,
so in the last 2 weeks, I think over 250 rushing yards last 2 weeks.
That's great.
3 touchdowns. So he's looking good out there. I don't see him slowing down at all.
He's balling.
Granted,
don't say I didn't call him.
I'm gonna pray, he don't get hurt, nothing like that. Davin Cook, he's known for being injured. So, but we're not going put that in the air.
Yeah.
We're not gonna think about that. We're just gonna keep it moving. Then I had Miles Sanders, a running back 2. I expected more from him, from Miles Sanders that week. I mean, they played San Francisco, but they're banged up. So I thought, he'll do something. But the last 2 weeks, he had over 100 yards in total. Over 100 total yards the last 2 games. But this game, I think he had like 78.
No,
so,
he played a tough San Francisco.
He played, tough team, but
you can't sleep. Even though San Francisco lost a bunch of players, they're acting like the coach is not there.
I know, but
what's his name? Saleh, the defense coordinator.
Yeah.
He should be a head coach.
Oh, he's gonna be there next year.
He's a great coach.
He's a great coach.
Like,
great coach. Yeah, great coach.
I'm not going. They dialed it up.
Yeah, I mean, but with the volume he gets over there in Philly, like no receivers there. Like, I thought it would be a better game. I thought he would do more of that game.
There's no running room there, but
but
it was what it was.
I see better weeks for Sanders. Adam Thielen, my man The. My man had 8 receptions for 114 yards and a touchdown.
That's your guy.
That's my guy. Like,
I can't fake it. That's your guy.
Had him like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
When he came, he had his coming out party.
The first year when he emerged.
That's my guy, Thielen. I always, I stick true to Thielen. He's good in that offense. I think Kirk Cousins, the Vikings offense, I'm gonna say this again. It hasn't looked the best, but I feel like they're gonna get going. And when Kirk Cousins is throwing the ball, he's throwing this to Adam Thielen. So
goes to Adam Thielen.
Yeah,
100%.
It does.
100%.
You got a 2-headed monster there in Minnesota with Dalvin Cook. It's like
you literally have to.
If it's not going to Thielen, Dalvin's getting the ball.
Yeah,
and
I always tell these guys, like, they be like, "Oh, what if Dalvin doesn't Thielen balls and Dalvin doesn't?" I'm always like, 40-yard catch to Thielen, 10-yard run for Dalvin for the touchdown. Yeah. That's how it works. Like,
crazy.
Or Dalvin's going to run down the field and Thielen's going to score a touchdown on the goal line. Like,
saw Madison.
I mean, Dalvin went down for a little bit. It scared me because I don't know where I was, but I'm watching on my phone and it said Davin Cook's injured on the play. I'm like,
terrified.
Straight to Twitter. I went straight to Twitter. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, but he came back in the game, So, yeah, man. Like I said, I've been saved with no injuries this year. Like, it's been a lot of injuries, and like, knock on wood. Not one to my team, so I thank God for that. We're gonna move to Cooper Kupp. My guy. It was looking bad. Terrible for me because he had Josh Allen in the 4:00 games. It's looking bad for me. Like Josh Allen just up and down the field. Cooper Kupp not doing nothing. I needed a play.
And he gave you.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Look,
that one play gave you 12. He finished with how many points? How many?
15. Look,
that one play gave you 12.
Hey, I was so nervous during the game. I start washing dishes. when he scored that touchdown, I'm washing dishes. I'm like, I gotta move around. I'm like, I gotta move.
I gotta divert my attention.
Right.
Yeah, and my wife would tell you when he caught that pass and scored that touchdown, I went crazy. Like without that play, I didn't do the math, but I might have lost this week without that play.
Nah, you still. No.
I don't know. Yeah.
You get the point. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know how much. Like, how long was that? 60, 50?
It was about 52 yards. I want to say I'll give 52.
So I barely won without that play.
Easy Corona to go hit your squad. That's messed up.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, washing dishes, Eric. I was washing dishes.
My boy was washing
dishes. Hey, Mark Andrews. I mean, he had 3 catches, 57 yards, but he caught 2 touchdowns. So you do the math.
I told y'all last week. Buy low. If you got Mark Andrews this week,
he caught.
Trying to tell you, anybody on the buy low, the week's gonna get better. So
3 catches, 57 yards,
last week,
2 touchdowns.
Lucked out. I mean,
he caught 3 passes and scored 2 touchdowns. Like,
oh yeah, go to.
I mean, I'm not liking that. Like, I want his stats to be. I'd rather see 8 catches for. You know what I mean? Like, he only had 3. Like, I need him to do better. I need him to pick it up. You know what I mean? Like,
go to the next guy.
It has to look better.
Go to the next guy.
Michael Gallup.
Oh, you waiting for this one?
Go to the next.
My man beside me. I traded him Latavius Murray for Michael Gallup last week. But he told me CeeDee Lamb
It's the guy.
It's the guy. But I'm gonna tell you this. In June, he wasn't talking that shit. But
I wasn't.
Last week was the first week he was talking that shit. But it played out though. I feel you.
I mean, you go 3 weeks with this gentleman. 3 weeks with this guy on your team. It's so unpredictable. Like I sold him high. I sold him for.
No, you ain't selling too high though. You ain't selling high. It's an even trade.
It was a fair trade.
No, but sell high means like you got Latavius Murray for like Stephon Diggs. I mean,
pretty much.
Like you know what I mean?
I feel like it was a good trade. I feel like
that's an even trade.
I think it was even.
Even though Latavius put up 20 last week. Shout out to somebody in our league who said that he wasn't going to do what he's supposed to do. But I mean, you know what I'm saying, he put up 20 and. CD is the guy over Gallup. Yeah, CD's a dog.
Hey, I'm gonna let him have it right now. You know, he wasn't saying this. He wasn't saying this till last week, but But CD is the guy.
I was leaning more on Sean's side as well with Gallup.
Nah, but it's gonna be better games for Gallup. Don't get me wrong. Like Gallup is one of those guys. Like. You know, that's why he's a flex play. He's a flex.
We gonna see.
He's not a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. He's a flex. Like you flex him, you playing with the matchups. And I thought the matchup was there last week. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know. Dak threw for what 500,
and your guy got what
29. You got to do better.
I mean, you made the move this week. You know,
but you know.
All
right, we're gonna go to the Coast D, #1 defense, and not just fantasy. #1 defense in the NFL. So that would
defense is most likely.
It's crazy. I looked up
translate to the real thing.
How I drafted the coach. I looked up who the coach was playing week 1. I saw they was playing Jacksonville week 1. That's the only reason I picked up the coach. Since then, now they're the #1 defense. So like, I did my research though. I did my research.
They've been playing mediocre offenses. Don't get me wrong, but
no. I was just trying to figure out what their matchups were.
But the Colts defense, who did they play last week? They put up like 27. They put up 27.
Oh no, they played the Jets last week.
Yeah, the Jets is.
Yeah. I mean, they're guard.
So they've had some favorable matches.
I'm not knocking you for having them. I'm saying. No, I meant the week before they played the Jets, but before that, like you have a great.
Who are the teams, John?
They got Jackson. They had Jacksonville week 1, put up 6. Minnesota, they put up 17.
All right.
New York Jets, they put up 27. Went off.
Hey, shitty match, but that's what you. That's what you pick up the defense for. Like I looked at their schedule and I liked what I saw. Like, you know what I mean? But still, they're still playing against NFL teams and they're shutting them down. You know,
but I think it gets
everyone's not playing the best teams every week. So
forward, though, it gets a little tough moving forward though.
Yeah, but then you know.
They got Cincinnati. I mean, Burrow's been moving the ball, so
they're gonna shut it down.
Detroit,
gonna shut it down, man.
Baltimore, hell no. That's when you
start against Baltimore.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Baltimore has not looked the same this year.
You gonna start them against your tight end?
Like, have they?
Nah, he's not gonna
against your tight end.
You see what the football team was doing against them. They were shutting them down for a little until Lamar broke out for 50. And then they, Mark Andrews, my guy, but
playing your defense. Yeah, you don't start players that's playing your defense. You're not about to.
I know.
I'll be on the waiver wires that week.
I'll be on the waivers, but it don't matter. I'm just gonna let y'all know out there.
I mean,
I ain't gonna boast or brag, but I don't care about the kickers. You know what I mean? They see what the score is. They see I got the win. The people out there know I'm 4-0. I ain't gonna boast or brag, but I'm gonna let them know because these two guys to the side of me, these two guys to the side of me,
talk your shit, bro.
They talk. So I gotta win. Everybody out, everybody always against me because they know I'm the competition. You know what I mean? So I gotta do it when I win. You know what I mean? Hey, Reezy, you know what it is out there if you watching.
Smart man
once. You got it last week.
Everybody wants you to do good, but never better than them.
Yeah.
Hey, facts.
Real shit.
Those are facts. Everybody wants you to do great.
Yeah, we on.
Man, buy low, Started off, we got Le'Veon Bell for the New York Jets. Coming off of his injury, is he going to play this week?
Yes,
he's going. I think he's back. But y'all know how I feel about Levy out there. So but we're gonna Levy
for me is definitely a buy low candidate. You can try to reach out and to whoever has him, give him a decent offer. See what you come up with. I know Toine not trading for him, so
he's not trading.
I'm not shaking Levy.
He's not going to show.
Hey, nonsense I had to take.
Hey, what they say? What they say? If the price is right, anybody can be traded, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So that's one candidate. That's one candidate. For me, that's at the top of the list. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry, a good buy low because he has.
On there the whole time? Did you change that?
Yeah, that was there. That's been there.
Derrick Henry on there.
Let's see the reasoning to this.
All right, you look at the whole COVID situation. For one, they may not even play this week. So
ship him.
You talking about 2 weeks? And then he hasn't really been balling like people expecting him to be. Now later on in the season, we already know later on in the season when it get cold, that's when Derrick Henry gets hot.
Get cold. Nobody's in the way. That's Earl Thomas.
So I feel like he could be a solid buy low right now because especially if you got an owner that owns him and that's struggling and they need to make some moves.
That's true.
You might be able to push somebody there's way to pick him up. It might not be a hefty price. You might be able to sneak him. Like who would you say would be a solid traded person?
A wide receiver one and a wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't see no low price for Derrick Henry. You gotta see your guys. Especially the guy that has him in our league. I
gotta look up his numbers because
like, bruh.
But
you ain't seen him in a minute, but
what's Greeny's record though? He's
2-2.
2-2. Yeah.
Okay, I mean against Minnesota, he went off. Jacksonville, he gave you 8.4, and then week 1 he did 14.6. So, but still, having that with that COVID situation going on, you're not gonna be able to use them, and you might be able to get something that can, if you have them and you're struggling, trade them away and get 2 solid players that can be effective to you now. Especially if you 1-3 like me or 0-4 and you need to make a move, that'll be a person that's a piece that you can move.
If you get Derrick Henry in your league, please send it to us and let us know because you're a genius.
You're a genius.
If you get him for the low, you're a genius.
All right, we'll move on. All right, DJ Moore.
Yep. I agree 100% with this.
Yeah,
100%. And I have him.
And I'm surprised. Like Roby Anderson is looking like the number 1 over there. I was like, it's like I don't know what's going on with Bridgewater. Why he's not getting DJ the ball like he should. I don't know what's going on, but he's on the low end right now. I mean, I feel like weeks moving forward, DJ is going to be a solid player. He's going to pick it up. So might be able to squeeze in there, get a little something for him, and then he'd be effective.
Because DJ Moore owners are not happy right now. So
you said right next to one. DJ Moore is not in the lineup this week, and it's arguable. I'm telling you, they tell me all the time. John been telling me, Sean been telling me, start DJ Moore this week. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I feel the same way that Kenyan Drake owners feel right now. I know you might be done. It's saying start him. Like you don't know what your tolerance level could be, but I can't do it right now. I can't trust him. Even against a weak Atlanta defense, I can't trust him. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he goes off on my bench so I can plug him in next week for week 6. But week 5, 100%.
It's a hell no. It's a hell no. All right, man. Deontay Johnson for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hasn't been playing too well. I mean, you might be able to reach and get him. And then also he was in the concussion protocol. I got word today that he's off of that, so he's gonna be ready to go. So this could be a big week for him, and the owner that has him may be looking to move him, and he may move forward and play better. I think he's gonna play better. So this would be a guy that I would try to buy low on. He'll give you some production depending on what your lineup looking like. Pick him up, and play him and playing with confidence moving forward. I think his best days are ahead of him. So
I'm high on Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. So if you can get him early, and if you can get him low on the low end, I would definitely suggest y'all do that. AJ Brown, it's just been injuries. Like it's just he's not.
I don't think AJ Brown has played this year.
Yeah,
Has he?
0 games.
Yeah, no games.
So I think you can get him on the low. Like you can get him on the low.
Sneak AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Playoff run.
Yeah.
Except for in our league,
early play a season-long game, not a week.
So AJ Brown, I think, definitely. I would say that you could probably that's the player that you could probably get the lowest for. Like DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Le'Veon, you're gonna have to give up a little bit to get them. But AJ Brown, I think that you will definitely be able to get him for on the low end. So that would be a player that I would go ahead and get if you can. Now to the sell high. First guy, Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. We discussed him. Last week. And Toine, he was dead on with what he was saying. So I gotta give you respect for that. You know, credit is given what credit is due.
Much respect.
So he went off. But to me, I feel like that's going to be his best stat line of the season.
35.
I agree.
I don't think he's going to do that again.
I agree.
This year,
35 points is a
lot, bro. If you got him on, like if you got him and you had that big week, this could be a good time for you, to
don't get me wrong.
Go ahead and sell high on him.
With CH?
Yeah, CH. Just pick him up.
CH had him, and what happened? He got the win.
He started him?
Yes.
Yeah, he started him.
He started him.
Hey, CH got the win. Hey, shout out CH with the win.
That was a good move.
Odell, I don't know because he had rushing yards. I'm not too sure, but I know he had 35 points.
He had 35.
He went stupid.
He went dumb. Bro.
Yeah.
He went dumb.
He had one of the fantasy games you wish for.
Yeah, Jarvis.
He had a receiver throw him a touchdown.
Not Baker. Baker's some trash still.
Yeah,
Baker's still some shit, but I mean, excuse me.
So yeah, that's why John. But that's why John's saying sell high because a receiver threw him a touchdown. Then he ran a reverse for like 50 yards.
Like,
so it's yeah. Hey, in around touchdown. Right. So it still doesn't look good out there for Odell.
Shout out to the Dallas defense.
Yeah,
trash.
Exactly. You want to see Baker throwing the ball, not Jarvis Landry. So we'll see.
Like, yeah, CH, we'll give you that, bro. Yeah.
Jack, never happening again. Yeah,
never happening again.
I agree with you, real. That's not happening again. Like,
so
that's why
sell them high if you can right now.
You can get a good amount of pieces for Odell Beckham, y'all. Like
after that game,
right after this game,
the game and the name.
Like if you need somebody, else, like definitely go after him.
Go get what I want to say, like what Diggs. This when you go get. This when you go get a back.
Yeah, everybody wants straight for running backs right now. Like
sneak somebody in there.
You might be able to. You might be able to sneak it. Like a player like Tyler Lockett. You might be able to sneak him. Like after that bad week Tyler had, and then that big week Odell had, you might be able to put. You might be able to put Odell in that trade and make that happen. Like I feel like Lockett is gonna be better in the long run than Odell. Me personally, I feel like, but
CAs don't like that.
It's just more consistent over there in Seattle than it is in Cleveland, man.
More consistency over there.
Like the guy, man.
Like Baker hasn't shown me yet that he can get.
Still.
Yeah, like we said, Odell hasn't shown me yet that he can get Odell the ball on a consistent basis. Like so, me personally, I would. Depending on what my record is and what my team looking like, I would try to sell him high and see how it works out. I feel like it'll work out good. All right. We're going to go on to the next one. Mike Davis. He's been solid.
Yeah, he's been solid, bro.
Ever since he's been named the starter, he's been solid, but it's going to come to an end in the next couple of weeks. So for me, I feel like you should sell high on him now. Because I want to say McCaffrey will be back probably the next 2 or 3 weeks. So if you can get him out the way early, get a couple good pieces, after that work out, because 3 weeks from now, he's not going to do you any good. Like, he's not going to be out there, and it's going to be the McCaffrey show once again. So if you got Mike Davis, I would definitely suggest you sell him now. Sell him now while you still can before it's too late. Now let's move on to the next player. Colin Murray. I know Sean's going to say some shit to me.
I'm ready to hear this.
Yeah, I gotta hear it.
Why are you selling
Colin
him high?
Murray, sell high. Sell high. Like, I mean, he's a great player. I will give you that. But the numbers as far as his rushing, he's more rushing dependent to get his fantasy points.
He just threw 3 touchdowns.
A la Lamar.
The first game.
A la Lamar Jackson.
Okay, but the past other games that he's played has been mostly rushing, correct?
Disagree.
But he's still throwing touchdown passes though at the same time.
Let's. All right, now we gotta go. Now we gotta. Now we don't have time. We gonna stick. No.
I disagree. Can't sell that guy.
Okay.
In that bad game.
When he played, all right, how many passing yards did he have?
He had 133 passing yards.
Okay,
It wasn't looking too shabby out there throwing the ball. But he added 3 touchdown passes.
My question is though, is he going to be able? I feel like with the rushing, I feel like Cardinals are gonna run the ball more. I do strongly believe that. Now, is Drake gonna be involved in that more? I don't know. I think Edmonds is gonna get more looks, but I feel like they're gonna get that rushing game together to where Edmonds and Drake will be more effective moving forward, and that's going to affect Kyler Murray. I'm not saying that he's gonna wet the bed and whatever. I feel like Kyler is definitely like a guaranteed. He's going to definitely give you a guaranteed 20 a week, guaranteed. I believe.
If they were going to run the ball any week,
sell high, but okay,
it would have been against the Carolina Panthers, who were one of the worst teams against the run, and their run game did nothing outside of Colin Murray. And Colin Murray's worst game of the year was last week. Was it last week? It probably was.
But when I'm saying
the week before, he had 20.
Now, when I put him on the sell high list, I wasn't looking at more.
Deshaun, and Deshaun's not on that list.
Because but
I can't
sell Deshaun high right now.
I like that you said that though, but I can't sell Deshaun high right now.
Why?
Because he has not been playing what like that would be.
He's more of a buy low.
Would be more of a on a buy low side.
Buy low.
He'd be more on the buy low side, but Kyler, you can sell him high right now. Like I'm not speaking about okay, like if you got a team like how Sean has with all the players he has with Thielen, all those guys, like it doesn't make sense for you to sell him. I'm not saying go ahead and sell him. You got a squad like that. Sure. Now, if you are weak at other positions, that's a guy like because I feel like you like with the way fantasy's been going with the scoring and all that, like you can stream quarterbacks right now. Like
so who you looking to get if you trade Colin Murray?
I mean, you could go after somebody like a Josh Jacobs. You can go after somebody. What? He's a top 10 running back, isn't he?
You're not going to trade.
No, I'm not saying straight up trade. Like you're gonna have to add something else to that.
A package deal, but
I would say you can get a solid running back.
Trading all depends on what your team looks like.
The drop off with the guarantee of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's guaranteed gonna get you about 20 points. Guaranteed. You're not gonna get guaranteed from the next quarterback you got to plug in.
But what if I need a running back one and a wide receiver two?
But the thing about it, like somebody could have Colin Murray, but also have Aaron Rodgers. So trading it all depends on what your team looks like, because it depends on what your second quarterback looks like. If you trade Colin Murray, if you don't have nobody else, most likely you're not going to trade Colin Murray. But if you have Colin Murray and you was able to get Aaron Rodgers in like the 13th round, you took him,
you got some guys out
you
there.
could be looking to trade.
You got some guys out there that got some good matchups like that you can stream. So, like I said, like it's all about your situation. But like I said, I feel like you could get a wide receiver one and a running back one with Colin Murray, like, and that could change your team, and then stream the quarterback. Like, let's say, all right, we'll move forward. But like I said,
Ronald
Mckinnon. Well, all right, Ronald Jones. Well, we'll move forward with Kyler, but Yeah, definitely a sell high. I'm still sticking with that. But Ronald Jones, I feel like he had those good. He even this past week he had a couple drops in that game, but he still finished with a solid stat line. I want to say he put up 18 or something like that.
15.
And
half point PPR.
In half point PPR, he put up 15. All right, so he's on the high right now, but do I feel like he stays there? Absolutely not. I feel like he got a couple more weeks till Fournette gets back, and then I feel like it's going to be a timeshare situation over there. So I would definitely try to sell high on him now while he's high, get a couple pieces, move forward with him, and then get rid of that situation because moving forward, he's definitely going to be in a timeshare with Fournette. Like, I don't see that. Like, and then with the fumbling situation he had, it's just and then dropping the drop passes. I'm just not. I don't. He hasn't proven to me that he's going to be the number one guy with Fournette coming back, and they traded for Fournette for a reason. So that would definitely be a guy that I would sell high on now. Keenan Allen been playing pretty well. He surprised me. Like, when the season opened up, I was putting T.Y. over Keenan. Now I'm kicking myself in the ass for that. Like, Keenan Allen has been solid, especially once the quarterback change was made. Well, when stepped in.
Justin Herbert.
Yep, Herbert. When Herbert stepped in, he's been getting Keenan Allen the ball. So I feel like you can definitely sell him on the high end right now, and he can bring some production to your team. Last player I put player to hold on to. Now I know some people will say, hell no, I'm not. I don't want Kenyan Drake right now. He hasn't been doing what he needs to do, but I feel like this is a guy definitely that you can hold on to at least for one more week.
Okay,
one more week.
I was going to ask you how many more weeks.
One more week. Give him one. Give him one more week. They're going against the Jets. They're going against the Jets, and if he doesn't get it done this time, because really right now, if you try to sell Drake right now, you're not going to get much for him. Like, so I would wait this week and see he could possibly go off against the Jets, and then next week he'd be on the sell high list. So I would say hold on to him for 1 week, see what he does, and if he goes off, I would definitely be trying to sell him after that week. He goes off if he goes off. All right. So that rounds up the buy low, sell high, and we're gonna move forward. And what we got next, Matt? What we going with next?
All right. We got our sell highs for the week. So starting at quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater against Atlanta. As you know, Atlanta's defense, they give up a lot of yards, points,
trash,
all that. They get up and then they let people come back.
And then they had more injuries. They had the backups getting hurt.
Man, Max said.
So
second worst pass defense in the NFL.
Second worst pass defense in the NFL. And they allowed the most fantasy points to quarterbacks this year. So I like Teddy Bridgewater this week against Atlanta. Starting with confidence, I feel like it's going to be a high-scoring game. So Teddy Bridgewater is a good start this week. Kirk Cousins against Seattle. As you know, Seattle's defense has been getting torched this year, giving up the most completions, passing yards to quarterbacks this year. So Kirk Cousins, the Minnesota Vikings offense hasn't looked too good, but I feel like he can get it done against Seattle this week. Seattle's defense is terrible. Russell Wilson, he's going to score points, so Kirk Cousins is going to have to play catch up. So I feel like,
it's the Adam Thielen show.
Yeah.
That works.
The Adam Thielen show, you know what I mean? Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
I feel like they're going to have good games as well. So start Kirk Cousins this week. Tired of who?
Tired of Thee? Big Ben, man.
All right, start Big Ben against Philly. The last 2 years, Philly's defensive backs have been shaky. They've been Casper the friendly ghost out there.
Slay out there a little hobbled too.
Slay
gonna be out out there, but
Casper the friendly ghost out there. So
like, he ain't see nobody like
start Big Ben. They got Juju, Deontay Johnson.
But
I feel like they're gonna be able to move the ball.
Will be on. Slay will be covering Deontay Johnson
over Juju
because Juju plays in the slot.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
Yeah, so Juju can still he gonna do his thing. I feel
I mean, I'm not like Darius Slay is a good corner in the league,
but he's
but I'm not starting somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not that scared of Darius Slay. Like you seen what Terry McLaurin did to him last year. Like he ate him up. Like he can be beat. He's not Stephon Gilmore. So start Deontay Johnson with confidence. Like don't hold back on that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Right. All right, we're gonna move on to James Robinson, running back for Jacksonville. For those that don't know, he's looking solid this year, and everyone knows the Houston Texans gave up the most rushing yards in the NFL this year. I think it's like 780 rushing yards they gave up this year. They're terrible against the run. So you want to start James Robinson this week. Houston allowed 2 100-yard rushers the last 2 weeks, and I don't see anything changing this week for James Robinson. So start James Robinson with confidence against Houston. Kenyan Drake. He hasn't been looking too good, but the volume is still there against a bottom of the league Jets defense. I feel like Kenyan Drake will have a good game this week.
This is it for Kenyan though.
Yeah, if he doesn't do it this week, then. I feel like you should have shipped him a week or two ago because his value was still high. But if you still have him and somebody's out there desperate for a running back, you can trade Kenyan Drake.
Agents might be running the road.
But I don't know. I don't see any value. I feel like he's better to hold like right now and wait for a big game.
One more week.
He
gets one more week with me. Like that is it.
All right, next David Johnson against Jacksonville.
I think he has a big game.
I like him. Like him right there.
David Johnson, big game.
Jacksonville has the fifth worst run defense in the NFL. So I feel like this is going to be a game where Houston's not playing catch up and they're playing with the lead against Jacksonville. If they're not playing with the lead this week, then I just don't know.
Yeah.
Then
throw the whole team away.
I don't know.
I don't know if it falls on the defense because the offense it's not like the offense has been like putting up yards and points. They've been looking average out there. It's been tough matchups. Yeah, the defense is trash too. They're letting everybody run the ball down the throat. So, but I feel like this is a game that the Texans will be up, and David Johnson will be used a lot in this game, in the pass game and in the run game. So, start David Johnson. I'm playing him this week. So I hope that don't happen, but I'm being real.
I hope what you got there is absolutely correct, sir.
But even if it's correct, even if it's correct, that don't mean you get the win. That's how fantasy works. We got 9 players playing out there, not just one.
All
right. So I'm moving to Justin Jefferson. Like I said with Kirk Cousins, Seattle's defense is ranked. They're ranked number 32 in the NFL, and it's 32 teams, so they're dead last. So if you got Justin Jefferson starting with confidence, any receiver going against Seattle this year, the way Russ is lighting it up, like they're always playing from behind for the most time.
Last week, 110 yards, 10 catches.
They can't stop it.
Like Thielen and
Jefferson.
I got them going off too.
They're gonna go off.
I got them having good games.
I mean, Thielen more than Jefferson. We're gonna pray on them, but All right, we're gonna move to T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y.
Twine's man, T.Y. I mean, the Browns defense is ranked 30th in the NFL right now. 30th. I mean, they got one good corner in Denzel Ward. Everyone else is really shaky out there. I mean, they got a good little pass rush, but
and this is another player I'm hoping he gets it right. Like
I feel like Phillip Rivers, if they can't get it right this week, then I just don't know. Then you panic.
T.Y.
I completely disagree with this one. 150,000%. There's a reason, and the stats and the facts will back this.
Let me hear it.
T.Y. Hilton hasn't had a game over 87 receiving yards since Andrew Luck retired. That is 2 years. That is 2 years ago, my friends. And also, I do want to tell you this. Going back to preseason. If you guys do watch this, as my man Reezy would tell you, Reez watches this, and he does. But week 2, Stephon Diggs had 553 receiving yards in that game alone. Stephon Diggs had 153 receiving yards in week 2. T.Y. Hilton has 162 receiving yards in 4 games combined. So we sit here today.
You know,
And we're trying to say to start this guy. Granted, as my man Ross would say, don't listen to Dennis and Jack individuals, but Matthew Berry said one of the players that you can drop today is T.Y. Hilton. They pass the ball. They run the ball more than they pass the ball. And when they pass the ball, Phillip Rivers' longest completion this year is about 49 yards.
It's about to change
T.Y.
this
Hilton
week.
eats off the deep ball.
It's changing this week.
Hope it does, but the noodle arm is there. And that is the definition of the noodle arm. So the one thing I will say is that T.Y. Hilton today is droppable. And you can drop this guy. Like to where like no.
A lot of people are not going to drop T.Y. Hilton.
No.
I don't care what it is.
No.
So if you had T.Y. on your team right now, would you drop him?
Yes.
I
Because every single wide receiver on my team is better than T.Y.
See, you're not dropping T.Y. if he's on your team.
Why not? Why not? Because of the name?
I don't want to hear that.
You're falling into the Odell Beckham effect?
No.
Then why, Sean?
Because I see better days for T.Y. Hilton.
What
Like,
days do you see? His highest scoring game this year is like 53 yards.
all right, but
What?
But this
He played bum defenses.
Nah,
He hasn't played. T.Y. Hilton is droppable. He's droppable.
Yeah, everybody's droppable that doesn't have the droppable tag on their
If
name.
T.Y. Hilton's on your team, you're not dropping him?
No,
I'm not dropping
over.
right now on my team.
Yes.
I mean,
Nobody.
I'm for. But look, I'm 4-0.
No. Okay.
You can't just drop T.Y. Hilton, bro.
Myself,
But
I'm not.
You can't drop T.Y. Hilton, bro.
I'm not.
Not right now.
Who are you going to get? Who you expect to? So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the rest of the teams because we got to fly through this. But who are you expecting to get for T.Y. right now? Who's averaging 40.5 yards per game, and I did it. He's averaging 40.5 yards per game.
He really looked up this one.
Yeah, I really did because I knew it was coming.
But I understand. But T.Y. hasn't. It's been 4 weeks.
So
he hasn't looked his best. But
Twan, you gotta remember. Look,
I don't want to hear.
We're not.
This is 16 seasons. I mean, 16 games, bro.
We're not
16 games, bro.
We're talking about this stardom system is for this week.
Understood.
They're going against the 30th ranked defense.
Okay, so you want wager this?
So
you want wager this week?
No, we're not.
This week?
Come on.
Wager what?
Let's make it interesting.
We can make it interesting.
Let's make it interesting.
See, 2 hours on my team, and I'm going to start him this week.
I bet. I guarantee he doesn't have more than 80 yards.
80 yards? That's a lot.
What 80 yards?
Oh, it's a lot.
I will take
80 yards is a lot. Like you say 80 yards. Like no. You say average is 40 yards.
He averages 40.
Okay, so why wouldn't it be 50?
Double that. I think he goes.
Why wouldn't it be 50 or 60?
Be the game.
For your flex?
No, but you said 80. You're talking down on him though.
I am. So 80 yards is
so 80 yards is 80 yards is solid in the NFL. That's solid for a week. 80 yards
in a passing league that it is today. That's
80 yards isn't solid. How many players are averaging?
Is it going to score a touchdown?
How many players are averaging over 80 yards a game?
Hold on, not
how many?
Not
5? So you're talking about?
If he's a stardom, this is his week to do it. So why not 80 yards?
Yeah,
because you're down on him. So why would I go 80 yards? If I'm making a bet, I'm saying you get 60 yards. I'm not saying you get 80. You want 80?
No, son.
How you want 80?
I'll take.
All right, John can take it, but
you want to take the 80 yards?
I'll take the 80 yards.
All right, bet. Let's bet the 80 yards.
All right, how much you put on?
Bet 80 yards. Bet 10.
Bet 10. All right, friendly 10.
Friendly 10 on the bet.
Friendly 10.
Start T.Y. if you got him this week.
Start T.Y. if you got him this week and hope for the best.
Hey,
expect the worst, but hope for the best.
No.
I waited all day, and Matt can tell you that.
Fucking guy.
I did.
All right, we're gonna move on to Roby Anderson and DJ Moore. Start them against Atlanta. Atlanta has the fourth most fantasy points. They gave up the fourth most fantasy points to wide receivers this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's Atlanta Falcons. Like, it's always going to be a high scoring game when anyone is playing them. Either they might not be scoring, but the other team's going to be scoring. So either it's going to be a shootout or it's going to be them getting blown out. So
I like Roby Anderson.
So start Roby and DJ Moore this week. Toine's not starting DJ Moore. I'm just gonna say I told you so on Sunday. That's it.
Yeah. That's all we had. We had him on a buy low. We had him on a buy low. No. So I feel like DJ Moore, if he's gonna get right, this needs to be.
Yeah, this is the week.
Get right.
Like, and then we got Tyler Higginby going against Washington.
He's gonna eat us.
Washington has allowed 5 touchdown passes to tight ends this week, which is second most in the NFL. So obviously we're not good against tight ends. Like Rel said, his favorite safety back there is going to have a lot of problems this week.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know, he started Tyler Higginby with confidence this week.
With confidence.
Confidence. Yes. It's the one guy I know is going to pull through. Like the one guy I know is going to come through, Tyler Higginby.
Yeah. So next we got Juno Smith from the Titans. Janu. Let me get it right. Let me get his name right. You know, Janu's been looking good this year.
Good.
You know what I mean? He's the tight end 3 this year.
He missed the game.
And he missed the game. And he's averaged 11 or more fantasy points this week.
One of those games is inflated. I'm not gonna fake because he had like 4 catches.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's a game.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game. I mean,
and this year, Buffalo gives up the most receiving yards to tight ends.
That's true.
So
I like it.
This is a good game for Janu to, after the bye, his legs are fresh. A week to recover from any concern I banged up injuries.
With that is if they play the game, just with that the whole coach. That's the only concern that I would have with it. If they play the game, definitely he's a must start. Like
that's why it's so important to have depth.
Yeah, on your team.
Important to have depth, and I got the depth at tight end, boo.
But
I got it at tight end.
But I like him this week. Definitely like him.
But I do like John. I mean, he's in there. He's in there right now. All
right, the next player is Evan Ingram. They play Dallas. Dallas defense have been giving up 40 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
So if Evan Ingram doesn't do it for you this week, drop him. Just drop him from your team. This is the week to drop him. If he doesn't give you at least his projection this week, drop him. I see a big game from Evan Ingram this week. I feel like Daniel Jones is going to throw to him. His targets have been there, but the Giants' offense is just not moving the ball. And when they do, they turn it over or something. Daniel Jones, I think he only threw 2 touchdown passes this year. So if they can't get it together this week in New York, then drop any Giants player you have. So I'm gonna say that. All right. Start Arizona's defense against New York. Also start San Francisco's defense against Miami and New England's defense against Denver.
New England might put up 20.
Those are the defenses to start this week.
If they did that to the Chiefs on Monday night, if anybody watched that game, New England might put up 20.
Denver.
Hey, that defense looked good.
Yeah, Denver
against the Chiefs,
Denver's offense is not.
Yeah, it's very shaky.
Man. Yeah,
very shaky.
The Jets got a pick 6 on them. They put up 8 last week. So imagine what the Patriots are going to do.
I like the Patriots defense. I'm not gonna
so that's definitely a must start for me.
I do think they're going to blow them out the water. I'm not gonna say it, but I do think it. But it is. All right,
Sean, hit us with the Siddums next week.
All right.
The
don't start these bums this week. You know what I mean? That's what that means. I'm 4-0, so 4-0, so so listen to me. So bench Baker Mayfield against the Colts. As I said before, the Colts is the number 1 defense. The Browns offense looked okay against the Cowboys. They were running the ball. You know what I mean? But that's not going to happen against the Colts. So the only Brown that I'm starting this week is Odell Beckham Jr. And you still got to downgrade him this week too. So
who the Colts play?
The Browns.
Kareem Hunt not going to be toting against them?
Kareem Hunt going to do all right, but it's not going to be
on the ground.
It's not going to be like it was last week.
You're going to see a lot of Dearness Johnson.
I hope so. All right, next quarterback to sit is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, he's been looking good. He's probably one of the best rookie quarterbacks I've seen since.
For a while.
I want to say probably like Andrew Luck.
For a while.
Yeah, he's looking good out there.
Rookie quarterback, that was RG3's year. So no, you can't do that.
I mean, he looks good. He's throwing the ball well.
Look, all right.
And they trust him. He threw 60 passes one game. The next game, he threw like 40.
I don't think
so. Since he trusts him throwing the ball, but they play Baltimore this week, one of the better defenses in the league that he's going to face. So I say bench Joe Burrow this week. I'm sure you got better options than him. Even on the waiver, you probably got better options than him this week. I wouldn't start Joe Burrow unless you maybe you're in a 2 quarterback league. That's it. I wouldn't start him this week unless you're in a deep league or something. Downgrade Tom Brady against Chicago.
I like it.
Chicago always has a tough D. He's playing at Chicago. They got a good front 7. I know he threw 5 touchdowns last week, but I don't see that this week. Godwin's out. I mean, Mike Evans is banged up, so Scotty Miller's his guy.
It's a short week.
And it's a short week. They play Thursday, so yeah. I wouldn't play Tom Brady this week unless, downgrade him means you probably have to play him, but
you got better options.
If you got better options, try to explore them. Running back to sit, Myles Gaskin against San Francisco. You see what Miles Sanders did against them. You think it's sweet because they got a lot of people out, but they still got a good defense. They always had good depth in there. He was always able to rotate players. So next man up for San Francisco's defense, I would bench him this week. Miles Sanders against Pittsburgh. He's on my team. I'm starting him this week, but you might not have a better option than Miles Sanders. But if you got somebody with a good matchup in there, like maybe you got James Robinson, and you also got Davin Cook or somebody, I would bench him for James Robinson this week. If you can. If you got James Robinson or somebody that you picked off waivers that you trust to start over Miles Sanders, I would do it this week. Downgrade Joe Mixon against Baltimore. Like I said, Baltimore has one of the better defenses in the league. Joe Mixon went for 39 last week, but it's a new week.
He's definitely not doing this.
He's not going to do that again. So
not doing that again, especially not against.
Of course, you're starting him, but downgrade him.
You got to start him, but
Devontae Parker against San Francisco. Toine said earlier he had 10 catches for 110 yards last week, but they're going against San Francisco.
I agree.
One of the better defenses in the league. So I would have him as a sit-em this week.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna knock you. I agree.
But Devontae Parker, there's been a lot of injuries in the league, so it's hard to bench players right now. So the players that I'm naming, most likely you're going to start these guys, but
yeah, it is what it is.
Don't expect crazy numbers.
Yeah, I'm not expecting 10 catches, 110. I hope he gets 10 catches for 70.
Yeah, you just want to score a touchdown. You know what I mean?
I'm really banking on a touchdown, but I'm not seeing
this.
That
This could be the game that we see Tua. I'm gonna put that out there in the air.
That's your bold prediction.
That's my bold prediction. This could be the game we see Tua. This could be the game.
Okay.
This could be the game. Fitzpatrick is out there just being Fitzpatrick throwing 5 picks instead of 5 touchdowns.
Like the guy for you, man. No, I feel you though.
I can see that being. You know what I mean. Next guy is Jarvis Landry. I don't think Jarvis is 100% yet. He hasn't looked himself. I mean, his best player of the season is throwing the ball to Odell Beckham. That's his best player of the season. He plays wide receiver, and that's his best player of the season. So against the number one defense in Indy, I would sit Jarvis Landry this week. Yeah, you get points for that.
For a touchdown pass. Yeah, you got
4 points.
Like
and plus the yards.
Yeah, plus the yards.
So you got like 5 points in that play.
He's down the whole Browns wide receiver against his defense, and it kind of looks like weird. And he's shutting down Austin Hooper. He's shutting down.
I mean, downgrade Odell Beckham Jr. After last week, like we said earlier, this guy scored on a pass from a receiver.
That's true.
And then a reverse for 60 yards.
Something he made of his own.
I mean, yeah,
he did on his own.
Did on his own. Baker Mayfield wasn't involved. Well, yeah, he threw a 5-yard touchdown to him.
Yeah,
that was the best.
Hooper, so
yeah, so yeah, don't think Odell Beckham is like back. Like he's still Odell Beckham, so he's a playmaker, so he can do he can make plays happen.
Don't expect much.
Yeah, don't expect much against Indy. Yeah. All right, next we got Gesicki. How you say his name?
Gesicki.
Gesicki. Gesicki against San Francisco. Like I said, it's just certain defenses you don't start bad offenses against.
Mm-hmm.
Like Miami's a bad offense in the NFL. So I wouldn't start them against I wouldn't start a lot of players in Miami against one of the better defenses in the league.
Got you.
So
I agree.
Bench him this week. You also got Austin Hooper against, again, the number one defense in the Colts. And he hasn't done anything.
Austin Hooper is droppable.
He's droppable.
I think he's droppable. So
bench him this week if you still have hope and you're looking for that Atlanta Falcons,
I agree with
Austin Hooper, then bench him this week.
Definitely
downgrade Zach Ertz. Don't bench him because Zach Ertz is a good talent.
You got to start. You got to
start Zach Ertz.
Got to start
because
it's
like
you might get something, but don't expect it. See a lot of Fitzpatrick.
It's not too many tight ends out there right now.
See a lot of
it's not a lot of tight ends out there. So you got to downgrade Zach Ertz this week.
No, CH.
You know what I mean?
OBJ's on a mission, but his quarterback's holding.
OBJ is on a mission, CH, but
he's one man.
He's one man. Like
he's not responsible.
You saw how he had to get his points.
Like,
it wasn't through Baker Mayfield.
Not doing that against
Baker.
CH,
Baker has to give him the ball. It's not gonna happen. CH. I'm sorry, man. I'm banking on it. Banking on it.
You banking on your 35 a week.
Yeah, bro. It's not happening, bro.
I would bench Tennessee's defense against Buffalo. Buffalo's offense is just Josh Allen is just looking amazing. Like
Josh Allen is an MVP candidate.
Like he heard Jalen Ramsey. He took that shit to heart.
You're trash.
You're trash. He said he sucks.
He said he sucks.
He's not a starting quarterback.
You don't even gotta explain that one. We are like that.
Yeah,
we know that.
He said he sucks. So Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. He named all the quarterbacks.
He said he's trash.
And he's an MVP candidate.
Like he's going off. Like Stephon Diggs being out there.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna talk about Stephon Diggs too much, but all right, New York Jets bench their defense against Arizona. The Jets defense
without Jamal Murray, it looks totally different.
Yeah, I mean, but their run defense is okay.
But it don't.
You know what I mean? But
trust me, I know.
Arizona's going to put up points on the Jets. So if you got the Jets defense and you're praying, you have hope, bench them. New Orleans Saints against the LA Chargers.
I feel like so
I mean, Justin Herbert's been looking good.
No, it's not about that. I feel like it comes down to if their corners are there.
Yeah.
So because Janoris Jenkins and Marcus Adelson played last game, and that's a big difference. Is if Keenan Allen is lined up in front of. I don't even know who the corner was.
Yeah, I don't even
attest to.
Marshawn has to be out.
No, I see.
Marshawn has to be out there.
But I'm just saying, even when they were there,
but Eckler's gone. Yeah, Justin Jackson, Joshua Kelly. I'll take that over Eckler.
Yeah, but do you see the way Justin Herbert's out there playing?
Yeah, but who he throwing to? Hunter Henry,
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, but
Mike Williams
out there.
Yeah,
that's a weird thing.
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, son. Pull up Mike Williams' stats right now.
Yeah, he's
I mean, me personally,
I'm iffy with New Orleans defense. Like
the way, like even New Orleans, they haven't looked the best. Like even when they were playing, like not the best defenses. Like they had that one good week when John said start them. After that, what have they done?
Ain't done a damn thing.
They've been giving up big yards.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Had me in the negative last week.
Look at that, man. 100 yards or 7 catches this year. He has 7 catches for the total year. Like, I know players that have 7 catches in a game. Your Thielen had how many catches last week?
yeah, 8.
Yeah, they been 7 through 4. So come on.
What's that? He been hurt too. So
I'm saying, I don't know.
Still, like, he's
I feel like the Chargers have been moving the ball. I like the way Justin Herbert's playing. I wouldn't start me personally. I wouldn't start the Saints defense, but you know,
yeah. Well, hopefully it's a Monday night game, so hopefully I'm up and I might have to play him. I have to sit him down, sit him down a little bit. I'll say this: like if somehow, some way I'm up and I have New Orleans D going Monday night and I'm up by like 3. I'm sitting New Orleans.
Don't play no defense.
I'm not playing it. The possibility of getting a negative.
I think that if you're ever up in the game and you have a defense left, you can set that defense and take that 0.
Take that 0.
Take that 0.
Because you never know.
Go to the next week. Because you never know.
Unless you're up like 20.
Hey, listen.
But if you're only up like 4,
we're pressed for time right now. So I know I got to fly through the way.
Yeah, and they got no players. Yeah.
If they have no players left, then you can sit that last one. Yeah. That's kind of like how I was with Trev, but he didn't think that Aaron Rodgers was going to do that. But because he had Matt Ryan, so it was what it was.
Yeah, that's it for the stardom cinemas this week, though. You know,
like press for time, so I'm about to fly through the waiver.
Oh,
we'll fly through them real quick.
The waivers, damn, man. True. Man, we don't got to. We can roll it out. We can roll it out right here. It's straight. With
the waivers. We'll say this with the waivers, guys. This is why it's important for y'all to just follow us on our IG page, D Fantasy with SJT. We post the waivers on Tuesday. So once again, family, please follow our Instagram page at The Fantasy with SJT. On Tuesdays, we release those waiver wire pickups. Take a look at them and make your moves, and then we'll try to get through those briefly moving forward. Like, so definitely, like, because Wednesday, us talking about them, we're just talking about who you should have picked up, but waivers have gone through. So Tuesdays, that's the day where we post those. Y'all gotta get on our IG page, look at that, and use that as a guide to pick up who you need to pick up if you're in need on your waiver wire. All right. Now, fellas, we're going to wrap this up. You know, it's been a great show. Once again, y'all, like I mentioned the IG page. Now on YouTube, guys, please like, subscribe to It's Nation TV, and also hit the notification bell so you get those once we go live or once we post. You get that automatically alert to your phone. So please do that. And we will see y'all back next week for another episode. So thank y'all once again.
Support, hey, much appreciated. Hey, we really do appreciate it. And stay tuned, man. We got a long season. If you're down right now, we play a season-long game. We don't play a weekly game. So, hey, set your lineups, manage your team, stay in it. Hey, we do this for fun. At the end of the day, this is all for fun, never personal. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we argue all the time. Me and my men right here, we argue all the time. Behind the scenes, we F you, F this. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let me see. Worst defense. But you can't start Dallas.
Don't do that. Don't
waste your pick on Dallas defense, bro. Like, trust me, the Giants probably gonna put up their highest scoring. Like, that's why they're there. That's why they're there in our league. Like, that's a great question, CH, because I thought about picking up Dallas defense, and I got the Bears in there versus Tom Brady. I'll take that versus the Dallas defense versus Daniel Jones. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look at it like that. Like you can't start Dallas defense. They're averaging 40 points per game against. Come on, bro. You can't start them. Baker Mayfield put up 13 points last week, and they still put up like 49 points. So come on, man. Like, you can't start them.
You cannot.
That's a good question. That's another question that I'm saying. Like, we appreciate the support. We appreciate everything y'all do. Like, Anybody that got a question, they on social media. I'm not, but y'all, everybody here, they got my number.
Yeah. Any questions? Just like CH, just like CH did. Any questions? Leave them in the comment section below. We're gonna do our best to answer those on the show. So once again, we're gonna wrap this up, y'all. Been a great show. One love, deuces. See y'all next week.
One love.
Wear your mask.
Yep.